Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here. Hey, 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 it's the Phenomenal STEMist. What's going on, everyone? How is everyone doing? Brian, Kamoy, what's going on?
Living.
Living, living. Brian, are you talking?
No, I haven't said anything yet. I was that dramatic pause. No, I'm good. It's just this is my I don't know if this is my last event today, and I'm trying to get my podcast team. You're doing so much better than I am wrangling
Hey,
people together. So, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to lend that non-STEM view.
you have a STEM view. Get out of here. You're a STEM. You're STEM just like us. You sound like Howard now. Howard is having technical difficulties, so I just got a text from him saying. So we don't have the quad in right now. Hopefully he'll get that situation situated. But I'm just glad that you guys are here. I'm always grateful that you guys take the time to come out. I'm trying to get my audio in together. Usually I have a microphone, but I got this new MacBook and I'm always getting echoes with my old microphone. So maybe it's just an old rusty microphone that I gotta invest in a new one. I'm looking at these microphone costs. I'm like, nah, Dred. I'm gonna need 1,000 subscribers from YouTube. I was talking to them, I was talking to them earlier. So how we doing? I'm like, how do I measure success? I measure success by the amount of subscribers that I have, and I don't want to complain. 500 over. We just celebrated over 500 subscribers. 505 subscribers. So thank you all who are dedicated watchers. Um, and a lot of you are on LinkedIn too. I forgot I get a lot of LinkedIn subscribers too. So I need you guys who are on my LinkedIn profile and my Facebook profile. Please do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's right in the box below. You see that? All right, so I'm not gonna belabor. Hopefully, Howard will get a chance to come on soon. But we're talking about
Wait, wait a minute, before you get into that, how was your run? I saw that you did a run. Was it for STEM or?
did you see that? I
Please
got
don't
my
take your shirt off.
T-shirt.
Please don't take your shirt off. I'm not a part of this podcast. So take your shirt off.
Did
I
you
just
see
asked
that?
about a run.
Can you
Yeah.
see the picture?
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's us
saw
on the
that.
back. Uh oh.
Let's go.
Wow.
I did not run.
Okay, hey,
I walked.
hey, that's movement.
Yeah, I did a 5K. And it's funny, I did a 5K yesterday in honor of breast cancer. Shout out to my grandmother who did not survive breast cancer, my maternal grandmother, and I'm really, and my cousin, they succumbed to breast cancer. So it's very important for us to get our mammograms. I have health insurance. I've been getting mammograms since I've been 35 years old because it's heavy in my maternal line, but I can afford it. I have insurance, and so many people don't have access to care. So the Lady Shack, Track Shack, every year they have a 5K race in honor of breast cancer survivors. And the fast people, Simone, which is Howard's wife, she was in the fast people. She ran 30, she did it in 30 minutes. She ran 5K, which is a 3 mile. It's not really that much distance. It's about 3.1 miles. And I, and along with Rebecca, uh, um, yeah, we ran, uh, we walked the 3.1 miles, and we did it in under an hour. So I'm proud of myself that we walked in under an hour, walk and talked. Um, Rebecca James, Darius James is. Why am I saying people's name on here? Sorry, guys. um, and she's a physician's assistant. She's passionate about it because she lost her mother to breast cancer. So we did it in honor of our parents, and of course, as a professor, I do health disparity research in breast cancer. I do breast cancer in Black women. Yeah, yeah. I just got a text from Howard. He's gonna have to sit this one out. Aw, this is his first time missing out, but it's gonna be okay. Hopefully, next time we'll see him. Yes, Brian.
Shameless plug. I know you mentioned for those that don't have insurance, it might be hard, but that's why we have community health centers. The Health Resources Service Administration, HRSA.gov. If you go there, your listeners go there, or they can refer anyone in the family. We have I think about 1,400 health centers across the United States and U.S. territories where people who are uninsured, underinsured, have no insurance can go and get quality health care. So there are opportunities to get cancer screenings. So I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, because I don't have insurance or have the best insurance. No, they are sensitive to a person's income, their family size, and what they use as a sliding fee scale, and they can't turn anyone away. So I tell everyone, just go to HRSA.gov and look up community federally qualified health centers, FQHCs. If you do that, you can probably find some that are within your area. There's a ton in New York. There's a ton in Florida. They're all over the United States. So there are opportunities for those who are less fortunate and don't have insurance. So everyone,
Awesome.
it's
Thanks
green.
for that plug. Thanks for that plug. It's so important. Um, get screened, guys. Get screened. Um, but let's jump into the podcast. Let's talk about multicultural awareness, right? Like what is cultural awareness in STEM? So as Black professionals in STEM, I know, Brian, you always say, "Oh, my non-STEM self," but you're in definitely, the health arena, public health arena. How have cultural differences influenced the way you communicate with colleagues, with supervisors, students? Like how do you how do you communicate? Do you have multicultural workplaces?
Why, yes. Yes, the
Okay.
federal government is a multicultural workplace, very diverse. No, it takes time. If you meet somebody for the first time, you don't spill your guts, you don't go into great detail, but over a period of time, your work ethic, your work habits, that is a voice that most people hear across any culture. Can I work with you? Are you able to produce? If you're able to do all those things, then the colloquialisms, we say code switching, all that goes out the window because it's professional to professional, colleague to colleague, partner to partner, teammate to teammate. And once we know that I can work with you, we can get a product done. More people will communicate. It gets easier. And then also, I believe in being transparent. If we're not vibing, I'll pull you aside. Hey, everything okay? Because we're not on our normal our normal communication path. Because sometimes it may not even be about culture. It could be that person's going through. And these days, mental health, emotional health, especially for those in STEM that have to deal with a lot of different variables. Yeah, y'all have a lot to handle. So I would say in time and when your work ethic kind of shows who you are, those communication barriers begin to turn more into hurdles and not barriers. We can
Yeah.
always overcome some hurdles.
You could jump hurdles.
Yep.
You could jump hurdles. Well, if you have good knees. My knees aren't that good. Kamoy, what is it like for your environment? Is it multicultural? And
Yes.
as a black professional, how do you deal with that? How you communicate?
Um, I think it's similar to what Brian said earlier. Um, there's a lot of in the beginning, right? When you feel like you need to just establish yourself, you're new. There's a lot of code switching that happens because it's always in the back of your mind, like, how am I going to be perceived? That's one. You don't want to be perceived in a particular way. So, there is that code switching that happens in the beginning. But once you get more comfortable around your surroundings, feeling like your surroundings are safe, I think that's important for some people, like feeling like they're in a safe environment and they can be, more transparent, more honest with themselves. Or sometimes you just need to, like, when you need to get a point across in a certain way, feeling comfortable enough to express yourself with your colleagues or even sometimes with my patients, trying to, you know, I guess get reach them at where they are or get,
Mm.
making sure that they understand the point you're trying to get across where they are. But I think it has a lot to do with, just how we were raised, not just at home, but also, you know, whether it's church environment or community environment. If you grew up in a multicultural environment, you learn how to um, appreciate everybody's differences. You learn how to communicate with a person who may not necessarily have the same background, and just having that level of professionalism, having that level of respect, no matter where somebody's from, what they look like, what their background is. I think that definitely helps to push you forward in this area.
Yeah, when I went to grad school, and we went to the same graduate school, and there's a lot of different cultures there. That's actually where I first experienced multicultural life. I went to a historically black college university, so all black kids, pretty much. I went to Adventist college, high schools, and elementary schools, which are multi Caribbean in New York. So I've always been in the same type of environment until I went to Albert Einstein College of Medicine, where I was studying with Chinese people. I was studying with Indian people. I was studying with Koreans. I was studying with Caucasians. I studied with many different, and then I ate with them. I loved their food. It was the first time I've experienced Indian food in graduate school. It's the first time I experienced sushi in graduate school. And so I started to eat and communicate with them. And I started to realize we are more alike than we are different. When I got into the workplace, it was a little less divided. Still is, right. There will be mostly Caucasians, a couple of like a Latino here, a black here, Indian here, and then many Caucasians. But that's okay. What I tended to do was sit silently. Communication did not happen in the beginning. I just listened. I kept quiet. I was actually warned by somebody higher than me and said, "Stay cool, be cool, don't say nothing." And I advise many African Americans in the beginning when you're just getting your foot wet to, I didn't necessarily code switch. I didn't code switch, but I was quiet. So either you code switch or you just listen. Look around and you listen. And then when I got tenure, I got a little bit more vocal. And then as I got more seasoned tenure, right, I've been in my institution for over 15 years. I'm pretty solid there. Now I pretty much speak for those who have, I feel like, that can't speak for themselves, who were in my situation 50 years ago when they were adjuncts, let's say. Um, I just want to. I like to defend the poor. I like to defend those who are helpless, who don't have a voice. So I communicate not based on culture, really. I could communicate based on what's right and what's wrong, if that makes sense. I'm seeing a lot of puzzle in your face, Brian. Give me some. You have a question?
Okay, so in your environment, now I do understand. I've been in mine for 24 years, and I remember when I first came in, I didn't know who to talk to. I talked to myself. That's because that's the only person I knew. But now I've got young people who are half my age coming to me. I think we had a conversation last week about cereal, and I was mentioning cereal in the 80s and how it was just chocked full of sugar. There was one called Circus. I think it's Circus Fun. I thought it was Circus cereal. It had rings, balls, I'm about to say mushrooms, marshmallows. I mean, it just had
Sugar.
sugar content. And she was like,
Sugar.
"What is that?" And I had to look it up. And she was like, "That cereal's 10 years older than me." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm walking away." But I guess the question I have is, in your profession, and you say that you speak for those that are the poor, downtrodden, those who feel like they don't have a voice. Do you temper how you say it in order to speak for them still, or is it just, hey, you getting raw, you getting not unfiltered, but passionate, um, I guess passionate speech?
You're gonna get a passionate speech from me. You're gonna
Okay.
get a passionate email. If I feel like somebody's been doing, if I feel like something's being done wrong to someone and it's based on their position, then I think it's my responsibility as somebody who has a little bit more voice to be a voice for the voiceless in a passionate way. But I don't do it much. But that's what I'm saying. I don't, I speak little. And I speak a lot of the times with my actions. Like, I'm very passionate about being excellent, and I do that with my actions, not necessarily with my words.
Okay. So you
But
must be in a cool
if when I
environment
do
where you don't need to.
eat, huh? Say it again.
I said you must be at a cool environment where you don't need to, like, I heard you say I don't have to do it all the time. I don't really have, there's very few opportunities, but and because of that, you can be your authentic self. Like,
Absolutely.
can't always be that
It's
way.
academia. Academia is a little bit more freer.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Well, at least it is right now. These streets are, it's a little roughly in, in these streets is a little different, but yeah,
Um,
normally, yeah,
I do think
yeah.
that where you choose to work, or where you choose to, give your services has, that if you choose to be in an environment where, speaking up for people who are, um, don't have a voice, or speaking up for people who need, you're surrounded by a lot of people in that, in that regard. I think that I'm sorry, here makes it easier to speak up as well. I feel I will say I do like dividing time in, because I feel as if I'm surrounded by people who feel the same way that I do, advocating for those who can't advocate for themselves. So that makes it easier. So if you're able to choose the environment you're in, then I encourage that you choose people who are like-minded, and you guys have similar goals, because it will make your job a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm not hearing an echo, but I'm hearing like a cutoff a little bit, but it's not that bad. But come on, you're a physician, so you're in a medical hospital space. I'm a college professor. I'm in an academic space. Bryant, you are a government worker. You're in the HHS. You're in a governmental space. We're in three different spaces, and where we choose to move in our STEM fields, there's different ways to handle it. That's why I love all of us getting together to give our perspective, and that is so right. And so, big choose well. That's what I'm hearing from you, Kamoy. Choose the space that you want to work in well, and maybe you feel like you don't have that opportunity. And I didn't when I was a postdoc. I wasn't that happy, so I decided to leave. Like I decided to leave that space and get into the space where I'm currently, and I've been here for almost 17 years. So yeah, you if you're not comfortable in the space, you might have to leave it
See, I
to
think
get into
people.
the position that you like.
I'll say this. I think people really misunderstand influence. No, I'm got an echo. Okay.
I don't hear it. Do you hear it? Come on.
I hear his echo,
I
yeah.
hear his echo. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
mine.
hear it too.
It might be my. Let me put myself on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it an echo? I don't hear echo. Oh,
No.
it's Dr. Byfield. Just gotta stop it. It's that
Okay,
Mac,
she'll get a new microphone.
that MacBook. That's what it is. Anti-Apple. No, but what I was going to say is that a lot of people really think when we first come in, we think influence means I've got to change a lot of people. What's that song we used to sing? It only takes a spark, not a big fire to get a fire going, right? You just got to reach one person. And all of us have enough influence to reach one person. And that one person can reach somebody else. So we've got to kind of change our mind. And as we get older, we realize that, I don't got to talk to everybody. I just got to impact that one person. If we can get that message to those who are coming into this field where they don't have to, like, I got to do everything all at one time. No, one person, one singular thing. The ripples from a single pebble still reach the other end. It may not be grandiose, but it's still some type of movement.
Y'all still hear echo? Did you hear echo just now? I put
No,
myself off mute again. So I can't. I thought I had my MacBook speaker on this whole time, but I was actually on my mic. Did I sound low? Because my mic is all the way over here.
no,
Did I
it
sound
sounds
like I
fine to
was
me.
low?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So hopefully there's no echo. You're off mute, but let's see. I'm
No,
sorry.
you
I,
good.
I lost what you just said. I
Wow.
I
Mm.
didn't respond
It
to what
was
you just said.
profound. You gotta say it
Brian.
again.
Brian, what you said was so profound. Say it.
Two
Sorry.
plus two equals four. That's what I said.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
No, I was saying that influence. Influence does not have to be on a grandiose stage.
Right.
You just got to reach one person. When you reach that one person, that can have a cascading effect. And when we first came into our field, we wanted to prove ourselves. And somehow we misunderstood the message of proving ourselves as having to enforce so much change. No, it's just reaching that one person, encouraging that one person, hearing that one person, pulling them aside if you see them going down the wrong path. Like, hey, you may not want to do this. Try this pivot. You can take it or leave it, but I'm trying to help you. So I think if we can get that message out to those who are coming into this field, that your influence is great if you focus on small achievable goals and really just one person. You can't get the entire group. Just
Yeah,
baby steps.
for sure. Welcome, Dr. Georgiana Wright. I can't see your last name, but just welcome. Thank you for being here. But you're right. Having the opportunity to use your profession to benefit others is important. If you can, if you can influence one person, that is critical, and that's what you're saying, Bryant. If you can just one step at a time. Here's the next question. Can you share an experience where cultural misunderstandings affected a project or collaboration, and how did you successfully navigate it? And be safe now, because I know these social media streets in these special times Um, I have never experienced cultural misunderstandings. I feel like sometimes I've experienced having desires and dreams that I wanted, and I felt doubted. You know, I felt like, oh, you can't do that. Or I felt, you know, the only, this type of situation is because of DEI or something. Like I've felt doubted in my space some in the past, and I've had to just push through it. I had to be like, si se puede, yes, we can. Yes, I will. I didn't even waste time. Um, I can honestly say I've when working on a project collaboration with multicultural people, we did what we were set out to do and we worked out real fine. No drama. I have no drama in my department. It's usually if I wanted to do something that's beyond the expectation and there's some doubts in it, then I usually have to just go on it on my own. And then they see like, wow, it really worked, and then they'll be for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all. What's your experience? Brian says no comment.
No, I mean, work is work.
Yeah.
You're going to feel doubt. You're going to when it's with ethnocentric thinking, we're going to think that our culture is the bomb.com. It's number one. And so any other culture trying to come into our space, we're going to look at them with a side eye. Again, I go back to once their product, their work ability speaks more than their culture, we will leave culture behind. We until I know you, I can only see the outside of you. I can only go by the tenor of your voice, your accent. But once the work is done and I see the work ethic,
Yeah,
I could care less if you have an accent. I could
that's
care
right.
less if you're black, white, brown, green, as long as we are on the same, because on the inside, we all say we're the same and our different upbringings give us a different vantage point. And once we validate, because validation isn't mean it doesn't mean I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It just opens up the line of communication for understanding. So when you validate someone's viewpoint, their vantage point, then the cultural differences begin to fade away,
Fade
and you just look
away.
at the person as who they are.
Yeah.
You're not Dr. Byfield, you're Maya.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Dr. Harris, you're Kamoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Goodine. No, but I mean that's just how it is. It takes time, and yeah, just work.
Yeah, you start to listen when we work together and we work seamlessly and we have a plan, and we when we watch the plan happen, you don't hear the accent. And I have people in my department from India, from Puerto Rico, from Barbados, from America, from Pakistan, right? It don't matter. Like when we get something done and it's excellent, you don't hear the accent. You see the teamwork. Yeah, yeah. Tamoy, you want to share or?
Um, well, not necessarily like a specific example.
Uh-huh.
We talked about this from before, but just to kind of piggyback on what Bryant was saying, that giving the person a chance to just, I guess, prove themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's one of that. I think especially people who are, young and upcoming, they're certainly going to have a challenge because in certain spaces you may not even be given an opportunity to prove yourself. So,
Right.
if you're given the opportunity and you can show, hey, this is what I can do, um, then that's one thing. But it's definitely going to be a challenge. How to overcome that, I do not know. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the tough things, one of the things I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah,
give advice to somebody? How do you, get an opportunity just to get your foot in the door? Sometimes certain spaces, that's going to be tough.
yeah, yeah. But once you get in the door and you get an opportunity,
Mm.
make it count.
Make
Make
it
it
count.
count.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. What strategies have you used to ensure your ideas are heard and valued in STEM environments? Especially where diversity may be limited. I'll go first with this one. Strategies have I used? There's always going to be someone in your corner. I want you to know this. There's always going to be a sponsor. And hey, technical difficulties. I don't know what happened. Um, what you need to do is look out for them. Look out for the sponsor. Look out for the person. I remember somebody came to me and say, "I have an idea for you for a grant." Like they came to me, and then I said, "Okay." And they didn't have an idea. They just said, "I want to talk to you about what you're doing." And they gave me the platform and said, "Okay, let's try to write a grant with that." You gotta take, you gotta look out for those people, and you gotta listen out for them. So that's number one. My first strategy is find the people in your corner. The internet gremlins are messing with Howard and with both our men. We had two men ready for tonight, and both our men, the internet gremlins, are wreaking havoc. I just got a message from Bryant. Hopefully, he'll be back. So, number one, find your sponsor. Find somebody who's going to support you. Um, and that's it. You're not going to be able, especially as African American professionals, a lot of the time, a lot of people are gonna doubt you. They're gonna doubt you. So there's gonna be somebody though who doesn't doubt you. You gotta look out. You gotta look for them. You gotta look for them. Everybody is not a hater in your work environment.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Come on, some strategies.
Um, you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah,
Because yes, there are a lot of people that will doubt you. They don't. It doesn't matter, right? They don't matter. Do you believe in yourself?
that's right.
And if you believe in yourself, you got to put the work in. You're not gonna get. It's not gonna be handed to you. Nobody's coming to save you. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to do the work. There is just no way around that.
Yeah,
And like you said, I think it's really important to, yeah, there will be people in your corner. I'm where I am because I had people that were in my corner, and a lot of people did not look like me,
yeah.
from completely different backgrounds, and I'm sure it's the same for you. So lean on your help, and believe in yourself, and do the work. You'll get there.
Let me tell you something. In STEM, when people see excellence, it may not necessarily. I'll be straight up. It may not be necessarily Americans. Um, it may not necessarily be Americans, right? Especially those of our friends. And they might, it might not be, Americans. But when people of different cultures see excellence, I'm talking about people from India, from people from China, from people across the world. When they see excellence, they see excellence. And they're not trying to hold you down. They're not going to try to, because they see excellence. It's not like in the system that we might have an experience in America the same way. So, so somebody's going to be in your corner. Somebody's going to be in your corner, and and so you got to believe in you. You got to be excellent, and you got to look out for them. Brian, I'm talking about building your voice, like in STEM environments. How can you ensure that your ideas are heard and valued? Especially where there might not be um, an issue. There'll be an issue with diversity. With STEM, this is the beautiful thing about STEM. It's diverse. It's you can't help it but being diverse because there's so many people from different parts of the world who are in this field. It's not a particular dominated field. Uh, it might be dominated by immigrants. Matter of fact,
I'm sorry. The internet gremlins snatched my high speed internet. I was like, "What in the world?" I'm sitting there and it's just gone. Um, Y'all are fortunate. I'll say that. Again, in my area of STEM, trying to say that, trying to, in my area of STEM, there is while there is diversity, it gets gradually lighter the higher you go up.
true.
Um, it doesn't mean that those individuals did not earn it. I'm not gonna start that or go down that rabbit hole. It's just it just takes a while. But when you do, I keep sounding like a broken record. Just do the work.
Yep.
You build your portfolio. Um, talk. We need to find a way to kind of do public relations and talk about ourselves, not in a boastful manner, but in a matter of fact. This is what I can do. This is what I've done. This led to this change. That's not boasting. That is factual. And we need to find a way to do that and not feel guilty. Because some of us were told if we flatter ourselves, that's wrong. No, you can you can talk about how well you do things. And if you continue to do it, somebody's going to hear it. And again, do that grunt work. If you do the grunt work, people going to hit you're going to spend time with those individuals and they'll have an opportunity to really to get to know you. It's not going to be instantaneous, so don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen on the first try. It
Yeah.
might take 10, it might take 15, for some it might take 3, but the only failure in life is when we stop trying.
Yeah. 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 Powerful statement. Powerful state. Good evening, Madam Dimitri. What's going on? Do the work. Do the work. All right, here's another one. How has effective communication? So we're talking about multicultural communication today. How has effective communication with mentors or peers helped you advance in your STEM career? What lessons can you share with others? So, in terms of communication with my mentors and peers and sponsors, it's all about, to me, doing what your mentor says. When my mentor said, listen, Maya, you coming in, you're a black professional. They already said that you got an edge. They seem to have an edge about you. They are like off rip. So they might be a little, side eyeing with you. Stay quiet. Don't come
For a
off.
New Yorker, that's hard.
um so I followed her. I listened to what she said. um I listened to my advisors. First off, you gotta listen to them. In terms of my peers, communicating with my peers, I gotta just go deep into who I am. I gotta be the best person me. So I am a D on the DISC assessment. So I encourage everybody out there, especially young professionals, have you done the DISC assessment to see what your leadership personality is in the workplace? And mine is a D. So I'm visionary. I gotta be my best self. I bring to the table vision. I say, hey guys, let's try this and let's try that. And then different people coalesce with that. And whoever coalesces with my D temperament, I rock with them. I don't force different people to come my way. I don't, give people freedom to blend and mesh with whoever they want to blend and mesh with. To me, that's what leads to an effective team. You don't force people to do anything. You be your authentic self and see who gravitates towards you, and you move with it. So tell me, how has effective communication with mentors and peers helped you advance? Because everybody here is pretty advanced. You guys are doing well in your careers. Especially you, Bryant. You've moved up. You started here. You told me. Listen. You said I started here, and then I'm here now. You moved up, bro. What are you looking at me like that for?
This coming from the person who told me my next job is going to be a what is it? That person that directs planes on the
That's
ground.
grounds crew. That's the S on the disc assessment. That's not a bad thing.
I don't even know what you're talking about. All I know is that I've got to hold two flashlights and just go back and forth. I don't know how much thought that
You
takes.
support. You're still a leader. DISC is different
That
ways
is
of
a
leadership.
very important job, by the way.
It is
So,
extremely the person that's doing that
yes,
is extremely important for the flight to happen. For the flight people to come in
Invite someone
safely.
that does that and let them tell what their job is. Because all I see is headphones, an orange vest, so see someone can see me at night, and some glasses, and I'm just going like this. I don't even
Critical.
get to. I don't even get to come inside. I
Critical. It
gotta
don't
stay
matter.
outside the entire. All
Yep.
the planes outside. I gotta stay outside.
Yep.
One thing I wish someone would have told me is coming in is that, dude, you don't know anything. You need a mentor. A mentor is someone where they're where you want to be. Don't try to do this by yourself. Why are we coming into these fields thinking that we know? We might know book knowledge, but we don't know like world and working in the work environment, in the cultures and the nuances. We're, we're if we are so smart, why do we fight some of the simplest things that are out there for us? A mentor is someone, usually they'll come to you and let you know. They'll pull you aside. It's
Yep.
like I'm
Always.
advertising my mentorship by coming to talk to you.
Yep.
And the first thing we do is like, who is this? Why are you telling me? I know no,
No, you don't.
that is our first pitfall.
Yeah.
I wish I had known it. Maybe I would have gone up, went like this instead of like that. The Price is Right dude, the little climber that would go up, and then I'd be falling off the cliff. I
Mm.
sucked in my early federal career because I thought I knew. I came
Mm.
in with a chip. I came in thinking that I got a degree in marketing. I shouldn't have to restock a paper tray. But someone pulled me aside, saw me in my jeans and t-shirt as a secretary, first person they see, had to pull me aside and say, dude, you're not helping yourself. And I had to look in the mirror and I had to say, I'm not. But this person is trying to help me. Now let me humble myself
Right. And listen.
and listen.
Yes.
Stop talking. Two ears, one mouth. Stop talking. Observe, listen, and do what they say. That's what the whole our entire job environment wants to know. Can you follow directions willingly when they're given?
Yes.
Because when we're in what 1 through 12, we're told to do it and we have to do it. But when we get into our adult lives, we can make the conscious choice to do or not to do. They want to know, are you willing to listen and do willingly?
That's
Get
it.
it through your heads, people. Get it through your heads.
Yep. It's critical. It's critical to rise. What he just said, which is affirming what I said, is critical to rise to the next level. Yeah. Yeah. You wanted to share something? Come on.
well, I wanted to just add because I think we had touched on this a little while ago. We earlier one of the earlier podcasts with regards to mentors, and one of the things that I think also is sometimes people are kind of waiting for a mentor to find them, and not necessarily like trying to identify somebody, and then asking for mentorship. Sometimes I know I'll put myself in spaces. I'm like, hey, I'm available. Here's my contact information. Reach out. But there are people who they're interested, but they don't necessarily reach out. I'm not sure why. I think it's really important, like, in addition to listening to your mentor, you need to find a mentor or
Fine.
find more than one, right? Some people are busy, so they may not necessarily have, as much time as you when you're early in your career, but find a mentor. We are available. We're willing to help. And we may not necessarily know about you, right? We may not necessarily be in a position to know about you, but come and find us. We're available and we're willing to help. And then also, it's so important to not suffer in silence. That's what your peers are for. Nobody's
Mhm.
really going to understand what you're going through more than the people that are going through it with you right now.
With you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just and understanding that you're not alone, whether it's a win or a loss or a struggle getting or challenge getting through something, you're not alone. There are people that are going through it. You can share ideas with your peers, troubleshoot whatever the case may be, or just vent. Sometimes just getting out of frustration really helps. But I find that really communicating with my mentors as well as my peers helped me to be the person I am today and to get to the position that I'm in right now.
Love it. And you were just talking to me earlier about, has anybody on the podcast, any of the audience members reached out for mentorship? That could be something that we're open to as hosts. If there are people out there who are watching, reach out to me, text, DM me via LinkedIn, and reach out. I we could probably lead to opportunities for you. If you're looking to go into medical school, if you're looking to get a scientist job, uh, reach out to get some ideas, conversations, mentorship. It seems like those of us here are open. Okay. Last question. What advice would you give to early career Black professionals, Black STEM professionals, for confidently communicating and collaborating in multicultural or predominantly non-Black workspaces? So we know that STEM is between like 80% white and Asian. When you go into certain spaces, all you'll see are Asians or Caucasians. Very few uh African American STEM professionals. That's usually, I'm talking about in the context of engineering and technology, pharmaceuticals, things like that. When you get into healthcare, it's a little more diverse. But it's still not as diverse as certain fields. What confidently communicate is, to me, is, I'm not, and I'm not gonna say I didn't code switch. I code switch for with my hair, for instance. When I it's funny, when I interviewed for my job 18 years ago, whenever I interviewed 17 years ago, I was cold perm, fresh perm, like I didn't roll up in there with my afro. So you definitely in the beginning have to code switch and be less of yourself to make other people comfortable. I feel like that's something that I'm not gonna lie and say we didn't do. I think all of us did that. So unfortunately you have to, and I feel like this is for my non-Black STEM professionals who watch. I mean, we have people watching who are non-Black. I need y'all to stop that. I need y'all to stop being threatened by our essence, by our skin color, by our hair texture, like things like that. You have to understand it's biological, and it's us. We are brown and we have curly hair. Please, and our men have
you like to have goatees and beards, please allow for that, right? But I beseech you, my friends, please allow for that. But unfortunately, guys, we have to do that in the beginning. Um, but once we show ourselves strong and we're great at what we do, we have to not care what other people think. So my advice to you would be, if you feel passionate about something and you feel that you can bring something to the table, I don't care what negative feedback you get from people. You are already in the door, my friend. You're already in the door, and it's very difficult, especially in STEM professions. Once you get in the door, you pretty much stay there unless you do something outlandishly evil. You're there. So you have the platform to do what you feel that you have been empowered to do. And I don't care what nobody says in your ear. Ignore it. That would be my number one advice. Once you get in the door, go for it. Whatever you feel passionate about. And find that person that's willing to rock with you and rock with them and do that thing excellently with them. And then when it buoys up, everybody else is going to join the bandwagon. Don't try to convince other people to join the bandwagon in the early stage. Only do you and the person who's willing to rock with you in the early stage, you and them only, and make it real good. Everybody's going to join the bandwagon after. That's my advice. That would be my advice. What about you? What say you? What say you guys? They're like pretty much what I just said.
Mic
No,
drop.
no, I'm hopeful that as what we had to do in the 90s, or actually in the 2000s, um, that people going coming behind us, a generation behind us, wouldn't have to do as much.
Yeah.
Given just the melding of cultures, the relationships, the you've got mixed race children. Everyone is the I think about all those pictures of the people yelling Ruby Bridges going to school. Most of those individuals are no longer here. Now, the ideologies may still be here, but you know, hate will eventually give way to love. It's always stronger. Love is just a slow burn. Hate, fast burn.
Yeah.
So
Microwave. Yeah.
I would say in the beginning, this can't be your end all be all. When I say that, I mean you got to have a life outside of your STEM work, because it's going to get frustrating. It's You're going to want people to like you, to accept you, but you already have that at home. Once you walk through that door, as Maya said, you walking through a door, you're already in there. Look at that door as one of those one-way entry doors. Once you walk and it closes, you can't get out. Boom, you're already in there. But
Right.
that's not your entire world. That is just compartmentalize it and say, this is just my 9 to 5. This is my 9 to 5 me. I've got so many other hours, so many other people that value me, that validate me. Find your validation outside of work. Because if your life revolves around your work, it's going to let you down. It is. And I'm not trying to be mean or downtrodden. You got to have a holistic person. I used to be that type of person that where my job was my life. I would give, hoping that it would give back. It gave something back. It's called a paycheck. That's what it's supposed to give back. Everything else, icing on the cake. But I can't rely on that. It's work to provide income to move forward. I can love it, be passionate about it, but all that love and passion needs to be for your family, for your community, for your intrinsic value that you want to give to the work. Your job is just your job.
Mm.
I would tell that to all these people coming in, don't make this everything.
Don't make
We
it.
tried it. It didn't work. We're trying to tell you that now so that you don't have to go through the steps that we went through.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Love it. I'll give you the final word, Kamoy.
Be encouraged.
You're
um,
always the positive one. I don't want you. I don't want you to think that. You always start with that.
yeah, because sometimes it can be a little discouraging. Like, do I really want to go through all of that? This thing that sounds hard, and we are here because we love what we do. Um, and it's worth it. I think I have no regrets. There are challenges. There are challenges everywhere. If this is what you want to do, um, don't be discouraged. I agree with everything that you both said, especially the part about that Brian said when he said, like, don't make this the end all be all. It's just a part of of your life. It's not everything. But don't be discouraged thinking that, oh, I'm not going to be able to get in, or I'm not going to be able to make it, or anything like that. Put the work in, find your mentors, call one of us. We have a lot of us have connections, so even if it's not in our field, we may be able to connect you to a mentor in whatever you're looking for. But don't be discouraged. There is a path forward for you.
Awesome. And Dr. Georgiana has said she's a mentor too. So we have people out here that are willing to help. Um, you can make it in this life, in this STEM life. You can succeed well. Don't let what's going on in our world make you afraid, right? What's going on in our world is just a small microcosm of the opportunities that we have. Whatever you're meant to do, you will accomplish it if you do it greatly. I promise you that. I promise you that. I am the phenomenal STEMist, and so are they. Good night, everybody. All right, let me end the stream. Don't leave it yet. Keep waving at the camera.